Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's. Okay, we're getting that weird blurry thing again. 1 second, y'all. Sorry about that. Thought we fixed that. Okay. There we go. Alrighty, so now we can see the screen share. So welcome to this week's tutorial broadcast. Today we're doing it on Wednesday and at a slightly different time. So bear with me here as I do have to get through this relatively quickly, but I will be answering any questions that may arise towards the end. Also, Sam Hirsch is in the comment section. So if you see Sam, say hello to him. He's also available to help with answering some of those questions. First things first, when you open up your profile, how do you get to your settings? Well, you want to hit this little icon next to your profile photo and in between your edit profile button. And then that opens up three things: settings, report an issue, or sign out. Go ahead and hit settings, and then that'll prompt you to the main tab of the notification settings. Here you have a few options, and it's important to set this up on each of your devices because, as you can see on my desktop, I don't have browser push notifications. But if I go to the notification settings on my phone, it'll be about my mobile device push notifications. So make sure that you check this notification settings on both of those different devices, as if you set it on here, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's on with your phone as well. Second thing is your email notifications. And then from beyond that is to customize some of those push notifications and email notifications based on what you want to receive. So it's pretty self-explanatory from that point forward. If you have any questions about notifications in general, please feel free to drop them in the comment section there. Next up is email updates. Right now, we're not currently sending out this weekly email update. We're working on that, and we will be reintroducing that email newsletter type notification in the future. But for right now, that is not something that is working. So just something to keep in mind for that front. The next thing is your email notifications again, but you need to go to your notifications tab in order to change that. Donnie, that is a really good question. And yes, last I heard, there is an Android update coming very soon. Not sure when exactly it'll be launched, but once it does, we'll make sure to let you know on our update broadcast. Alrighty, your next setting is your socials and multicasting. So here is where you'll go to connect your social accounts and to enable multicasting for those external social accounts. So make sure to check this if you want to be multicasting to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, etc. And I say etc. because here is the RTMP setting. So you can add custom RTMP outputs in order to broadcast to any other any other social media platform that accepts live video and also allows for live RTMP, and they give you an RTMP code. So places like Twitch, for example, do have that, but we've now have them enabled directly from the source here. All right, so your next setting is your broadcasting setting. So as you can see here, this is where you, Bruce, if you have that issue, what device are you having it on? I know Android users were having an issue with being logged out, but that has since been fixed. So I'll check to see if you're on the latest version. Right, so broadcast graphics. So at the very top, you have this animate layout transitions button. And what that is that when you are in the studio session and you take something on or off the screen, you'll notice that there's a little bit of a transition. It kind of flows on and it flows off. If you turn that setting off, it'll just be like a jump cut. It'll appear and disappear. There's not going to be any sort of a flow there. The next thing is the awards banner at the top of the program window. So if I turn this on, what that looks like is this. So as you can see at the top of the screen, if you just turn on Show Awards banner at the top of the program, it's going to give you this banner, which is profile photos and the amount that they've given as an award. The next thing is to show the dollar goal, right? So if you turn that on, it adds a new dollar goal all the way in the top corner over there. And you can see that this Happs account is 67% of it has reached 67% of its $10 goal, which means that it's at $6.70. That goal is not something that you can edit. So that goal is a fixed goal and it goes up as you reach those goals. I think it starts at $5. So once you hit $5, it'll go up to 10, and then from there it'll go up to 25, et cetera, et cetera. And that goal also resets at the beginning of every month. So on July 1st, you may have noticed that that goal went from being close to $10 to back to being close to $5. The reason for that is because it's reset. That doesn't mean that you've lost the money from last month. And I'll tell you exactly where to go to see that. But as a reminder, that doesn't mean that that money is gone. It just means that the goal is reset at the top of every month. The next thing is to show broadcast title in graphics. So if I turn that on, you'll see that the top of the screen will now start to rotate between this subscribe to Happs for more and having your profile link and then the title. So you'll see there's the title. And that will be appearing and disappearing as the broadcast goes. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that right back off. The next thing is to show usernames and professions in programs. So if I turn that on, you're now going to see the little boxes which give my username and every single username in the broadcast out to the people viewing. So here comes that now. So there you go. This is the Happs account. So this is the Happs username. That'll, if I'm using my account, it'll be Pablo and et cetera, et cetera. All right, so turning that back off now. So we'll go back to just the standard graphic. And then the next setting here is your real location. So this one's pretty important. And I'll go over this in detail and why it's important. First thing, if you have this turned off, so if you have show usernames, professions, and locations in graphics turned off, you don't have to worry about real location, because real location, what it does is it blocks your current location from being read to Happs and then subsequently being sent to your viewers. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't want to have it off. You could still have it off to just block that from being read and being shared. So what does that mean exactly? Well, in my profile, I have my location set to Los Angeles. But let's say I'm traveling and I end up in Santa Barbara. And I don't want to share that I'm in Santa Barbara. Well, I can do two things. I can remove this show usernames, professions, and locations in graphics, or I can block my real location. And here's what's going to happen if you do one or the other. If you block my real location, your location is going to default to the one on your profile. So if I turn off real location, it's no longer going to show Santa Barbara, but it's going to show Los Angeles, California. However, if I just block show username, professions, and locations in graphics, it'll turn it off entirely, so you won't have to worry about the location saying where you are. Now, with that, if you do want to share some sort of location, you can go to your profile settings and change your location all the way up to your region, meaning that you can change it to your state. For example, for those of you that are in the United States, you can change it to just California or just Oregon or Washington or Texas or New York, etc. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Stephen. How's it going? Hey, Swift. Good seeing you. So that's how that works and why the location settings are really important to understand. The next thing is moderation. So the very first thing that you'll see when you go to your moderation settings is the automatic comment moderation system. I strongly recommend playing with this slider and figuring out where you enjoy it. And this may be entirely up to your content, the level of banter that you share with your audience, etc. It's going to be really crucial for you to figure out where on this slider it works best for you. However, if you want to set it to least strict, but you want to explicitly block certain words or phrases from appearing in your comment section, you can add those words here by simply clicking on the blocked words section, hitting edit, and then adding those words in. Next up, you can set up a moderation team, meaning that you can have other users be moderators on your broadcast. What that means is that they can send you private comments during your live broadcast, and then they can also mute users that are commenting something that you don't want to be seeing. That's it. Now, if one of your moderators has muted a user for you and you didn't want that to happen, you go to this muted user section, hit manage muted users, and here you can manage whether you still want them muted or if you would like to unmute them. It's really important there. The next section here is called sponsorships and payments. I'm not going to open that just to protect my information, but that is where you'll go to manage your payment information, meaning what you use to buy coins or what you use to sponsor a broadcaster. This is also where you will go to see how, all of the current active sponsors that you have, meaning who are you sponsoring, not who is sponsoring you. So sponsorships and payments is where you will see who you're currently sponsoring and also your payment information, meaning that you can edit your card, etc. Then you have sponsors and earnings. This is where you'll be able to see who is currently sponsoring you, but more importantly, this is where you'll be able to see your sponsor settings to allow people to sponsor you. I've been getting this question in my email a lot lately, and I just wanted to clarify that this means that you don't need to qualify for anything. You can actually just turn it on yourselves in your settings under sponsors and earnings. This is also where you will go to see your transaction history. And then finally, under balances is where you will go to see your current earnings. So any coins or sponsors that you receive will be added up and it'll appear in balances, and that'll be separated by those two categories: how much money you receive from coins, how much money you receive from sponsors, and whether or not you've reached the $200 threshold in order to request a payout. Lastly, there's the general settings. Here is where you can change your email if you need to. This is also where you can manage blocked users. So if you block someone by accident, or if you block someone and you no longer wish to block them, go to your settings, go to general. And then finally, if for whatever reason you need to delete your account, I think it's important for you all to understand that if you do hit this button and confirm to delete your account, all of your earnings, all of your coins, all of your data and information that was on Happs, including your subscriber count, your subscribees, those who you subscribe to, all of your posts is gone. We are not able to retrieve that as we have it as part of our system to just eliminate all information, including email and passwords, once a user decides to delete their account. Again, that's how that works. It is part of keeping you all safe and making sure that when you do delete your account, it is actually deleted and not just in limbo somewhere. Cool. That is all of the settings. Does anyone have any questions before I go ahead and hop off here? You're very welcome. All right. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you do have any questions about the settings that I didn't go over, please feel free to email me. You can reach me with either p.delahoya@happs.tv, which is currently on the screen, or contact@happs.tv. And that is the best way to reach me. No one has dropped the RTMB bomb yet, Mr. Val, so please go ahead if you so please. But I am aware that there's a really cool broadcast live right now. So if you are still watching this and want to participate in another broadcast, that's really cool. Check out Jeremy Stoltz live with Carrie Long right now. I hear that they're both drawing Disney characters while Carrie sings some of the famous Disney songs. So if you're into Disney, strongly recommend going to go check that out. They're live right now under Jeremy Stoltz's account. So with that, I will see you all tomorrow for the Happs Takeover broadcast, which will be hosted by Deanna and her cohort of scientists for a pretty special event. And I'll let her explain exactly what that is tomorrow. But we will see you then, as I will be there to introduce it. And then on Friday, we'll be back with the broadcast of the week show. See y'all.